Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. As some of you may have seen, I did the 1977 ALCS Game 1 between the Texas Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles. This was a follow-up to the 1977 Chicago White Sox replayed season that I finished. And the computer picked Texas and Baltimore to win the two divisions through the autoplay. So that's what we did. So I said, well, if we're going to do the ALCS, might as well do the NLCS. And after playing the NLCS on the computer, letting it autoplay the whole season, it came up with the actual teams, Dodgers and Phillies. So I do have actual lineups to go on. We do have an actual 5-game series to set up. And that's what I've got going on here. So let me make sure everything is where it needs to be, so we can get going here. Starting pitchers for today's game, arguably the two aces of the team, Steve Carlton and Tommy John, and these are the as-played lineups because, like I said, this is the computer actually, Strat computer actually, played it out, and we got the actual teams that were in the real NLCS to begin with. All right, so I'm gonna bring my score sheet in. And I already did the weather check, which was normal. It's a night game here in LA. So the normal, what would be considered to be normal weather, is 1 for singles and 10 for home runs, both lefties and righties. So let's get everything in place. Hopefully, looks like it will all show on camera okay. In fact, it looks like I can move this over just a touch to get more of the score sheet in there. I think I can. Feel like the engine that could now. I think I can. All right, sometimes me and technology, it's about me saying that because sometimes I feel a little flustered. All right, so Tommy John will lead things off here to start the NLCS, and I'm still sipping on my cup of coffee, so if you hear a little delay, it's just me sipping on coffee because it is a Sunday morning, late Sunday morning. So I already did my church service in the morning, so I'm okay. Yes, Mike, it actually did. I let the computer play it out, autoplay the whole thing, and it did. I don't remember who had the better record, but as I put in the comment, and as you had already put in the comment for me, the home field advantage was already predetermined back in the 70s based on NL East, NL West, same with the AL. It was a rotating basis, and this year in 77, the Western divisions in the NL got the first 2 games at home, and the last 3 were in the NL East, and in the American League, it was actually flip-flopped. So that's why it is what it is. All right, so the starting lineups for today's game: McBride is in center, Bo is at short, Schmidt's at third, Lozinski's in left. Davey Johnson's playing first base because they have him in there against the lefty John instead of the regular first baseman, which would normally have been Richie Hebner. And they got Jerry Martin in right in place of Jay Johnstone, another righty in there versus the lefty. McCarver, the personal catcher for Steve Carlton, bats 7th. Sizemore at 2nd. And, of course, Carlton, using pitcher rating card number 8, is going to bat 9th. For the Dodgers, it will be Dave Russell at short, Reggie Smith in right, Ron Say at 3rd, Steve Garvey at 1st, Dusty Baker in left. Glenn Burke is in center because of the lefty Steve Carlton, rather. They sit Rick Mundy and put in Glenn Burke. And then Yeager is the catcher for Tommy John. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Yes, these are, NLCS is all as played, whereas the ALCS, I got to do it myself because there was no Texas-Baltimore ALCS. But in the NLCS, I'm playing out, it was only 4 games in real life. So if this goes 5 games, the 5th game I'll have to make up on my own, but I'm going to try to use what I think would be the reasonable lineups from both the, what the managers would have done in those real life cases. So if it goes 5, that's what I'll do. Other than the first 4, it's going to be strictly as played, and I've got the bench and bullpens all side, and only the guys that appeared in the NLCS are carded over there to the side. So guys that didn't make it or didn't make the cut are not available. All right, so we got Bake McBride stretching in the batter's box, ready to take off against Tommy John. It was Danny Ozark. I was thinking at first it was Paul Owens, but I think he maybe came along later in the late 70s, early 80s. I think Paul Owens was the manager in 83. So yes, Tommy Lasorda and Danny Ozark. Battling wits here with two lefties, Tommy John and Steve Carlton. So we're underway. Beck McBride going to face off against Tommy John. That's a 4-7, and against the lefty, that is a ground ball to second. Davey Lopes puts it away. One away. So that brings up Larry Boa, the shortstop, switch hitter. 6-3, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. Tommy John is a 2E7. 2E7, so let's see if he can get to it. 2 and a 19, he definitely gets to that. E7. Let's see what the problems are on the E7 front for a pitcher. That is a 13. E7 for a pitcher. 12 would have been an error, but 13 is not. So it's a good play by Tommy John. A little bad hop there at Chavez Ravine. And here's Mike Schmidt. 2-9. 2-9 is a walk. So they kind of pitch gingerly to Schmidt, and he will take the walk. Now, he is a B stealer, so he is capable of trying to steal. However, Yeager is a -3 arm, and Tommy John is a -1 hold. So I think they're going to think better of that, and they'll try to let the big guy, the bull, Greg Luzinski, drive him home. He will be held at first because he is a good base runner, but nothing's happened on the 20. Here is Luzinski. 4-4 for John against a right-hander. Is a fly ball center field X. That is Glenn Burke. He is a 2E10. So good range, but high error. 2 and a 13. He will definitely get to that. E10 as a center fielder. What he has to avoid on center field E10 is a 3, 4, 14, 16, and 18. And an 8 will be just fine. So he makes that play. Innings over. The walk to Schmidt does not come back to bite him. And we go to the bottom of the first. Phillies nothing, and the Dodgers coming to bat. Steve Carlton finishing up those warm-up tosses. Will be facing leadoff man Davey Lopes, followed by Bill Russell and Reggie Smith. 1-3 for Lopes, and that's a leadoff walk, so leadoff walks usually come back to bite you. Now, Davey Lopes definitely looking to run here. He can get a jump on a 4 through 6. Carlton's a -1, but McCarver's a +2, so that's an aggregate +1. He's already at a 19 if he gets the jump, so +1 would make that 20, -2 for being held, make it 18. So if he can get a jump, it's a 1 through 18 to steal if he gets the jump on a 4 through 6. And he does. It's a 5, so he does get the jump. So that means it's an 18. 1 to 18, he will make it. 19 to 20 is out. 1, 2, or 3, it's a possible throwing error. It's a 3, so it's a possible throwing error on McCarver. He has a T rating of 5. And he will not throw it away, but it will be a stolen base for Davey Lopes. So Lopes is aboard second base. Early threat for the Dodgers. He will, of course, be held on. Here's Bill Russell. Now, Russell is an A bunter, so they could try to bunt him to third, and I think they will do that, or at least attempt it anyway. So we'll go to our super advanced bunt chart, rolling all 3 D6s, looking at the 2 red ones for the number. He becomes a B bunter, and that's a 10. So a B bunter and a 10 says it's a pop out right here. Pop. It says pop. P-O-P. So pop out means that pop out and runner holds. 6 is the white die, which means he popped it up to the third baseman Schmidt. Came in and got that pop up, but Lopes gets back in time, so he won't be doubled off. But a poor bunt by Russell. Couldn't get it done. And that will bring up Reggie Smith. Batting right-handed. He's a switch hitter. Turns around, bats right-handed against Carlton. 1-5, and that's a single. Now there is a omega there, but there has to be 2 outs for that clutch to take effect, so that single is going to stand. It's a single to right. Now Lopes was being held. He runs at a 17. He's being held, makes him a 16. The right fielder arm, Jerry Martin's a -1, makes it a 15. So 1 to 15, if they want to try it. And then they got to worry about whether Reggie Smith's going to take second on the throw. So 1 to 15, they're going to try it, and they're not even going to cut it off. They want to cut off that run now at the plate, so they're going to take the chance and let Reggie Smith go to second if he can't get him. Or do they want to do that? You know what? They're going to concede the base. The odds aren't in their favor. They're going to concede the base and keep Reggie Smith at first base. So second thought, they did that. No, the dice tower I bought off of Amazon. I think it was about 65 bucks. But it's very sturdy, and it's a one-time purchase. It's going to last me, literally a lifetime. And I can't imagine doing without it. I used to roll the dice all the time. They roll all over the table, but especially for video purposes, the dice tower works beautifully. So Reggie Smith is aboard now. He will be held, but they're not going to try to steal anything. They want the big boys, Say and Garvey, to come up. So he will be held on, but he will not try anything. Dodgers lead at 1-0 on the single by Reggie Smith. Ron Say, 3-3 against a lefty. That's a ballpark single, but it's only a 1 here at Dodger Stadium tonight. Otherwise, he lines to short, which is what he does. So that's 2 down. So 2 down, and that will send up Steve Garvey. Smith's, that's a 1, so it's a chance for a wild pitch, and Carlton's wild pitch rating is a 2. And it's a 1 again, so it's a wild pitch. Steve Carlton uncorks one. And that'll put the runner at second with 2 outs. Now he's in scoring position, so they got to be careful there. He will be held on because they want to try to keep him from scoring on a base hit. But that does open up a range check if that's necessary. 4-10, and a 4-10 is a fly ball center field X. So we're checking the center fielder, Bake McBride. He is a 2E4. So pretty good range. 2 and a 10, he'll get to that. E4, he has to avoid. As a center fielder, he has to avoid a 4, 16, and 18. Those are the 3 numbers that will get him. And he does, so he makes the play. And the inning is over. But the Dodgers do pick up a run, thanks to a little small ball, a walk, a stolen base, and a base hit. And, you could have questioned whether Philly should have thrown for the plate. But then again, if you let that run get to second, and then a wild pitch puts him to third, then you got to bring the infield in. It can be a total mess. At least it's a straight number on the board of 1 instead of a crooked number, a possible 2 or 3. So we go to the second, 1-0 favor the Dodgers, and Davey Johnson playing first base because he's right-handed. Has an excellent column 1 and 3 against lefties. And that one went off the chute, so we're going to re-roll that because that red die jumped the chute. Happens sometimes. 1-8, and that's a walk. So a leadoff walk to Davey Johnson. He is no threat to steal at all, so they will not even hold him. And that brings up the right fielder, Jerry Martin. Nothing on the 20. 2-7 for Martin. Struck him out against the lefty. So Tommy John gets the K. 1 away for Tim McCarver, who actually hits well against lefties according to this. His column 2 is pretty loaded, if he can find it. Nothing on the 20. Here's pitch to McCarver. Found column 3, which is not as good. 3-4 is a ballpark single check, which again is only a 1. So most likely this will just be a liner right to second base. It's a 1. He did find it. Do you believe that? How about that? That's a single. And I'll double check it. I think it's only 1 star on a ballpark. Let's see here. Yep, single 1 star is all you get. So Johnson will stop at second base. Runners at first and second with 1 out for Ted Sizemore. Not to be confused with the actor Tom Sizemore, who played Pete Rose in Hustle. 2-7. 2-7 is a single 2 stars, and that will tie the game. Sizemore with that base hit. McCarver will motor to third, but we're tied at 1 just that quickly as Sizemore gets the base hit. And now Carlton is up. He's using pitcher hitting card number 8, which is really good for a pitcher, but again, it is a pitcher hitting card, so even a good hitting pitcher is not as good as a bad hitting regular player. Sizemore, not really a threat to steal. He did steal 8 bases, but got caught 11 times. They could bunt Carlton here. There's only 1 out. You could try to bunt the runner to second, but I think they're going to go ahead and swing away. Sizemore will be held, so it will open up a hole on the right side for the lefty hitting Carlton. 3-10, and Carlton gets a single. Look at that. Good thing we let him swing away. It's a single. 3-10 on the pitcher card. That is a single. Now, it's assumed to go to center field when it's not mentioned, so it goes to center field. So the center fielder arm, Burke, is a 0. Sizemore was being held, and there's only 1 out. Sizemore run, it would only be a 1 to an 11, so they're going to hold Sizemore at second base. But the run scores, and the Phillies lead it 2-1 as Steve Carlton helps his own cause with that base hit. 2-1 Phillies, and now Bake McBride, the lineup flips over, and they're still threatening. Runners at first and second. Runner on second, Sizemore not being held. In fact, no one's being held. 4-10, and that is a ground ball, second base B. That'll be a fielder's choice. 4-6 as they retire Carlton at second base. Sizemore goes to third, so runners are now at the corners with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Larry Boa. Nothing on the 20. 2-9 for Boa, and that is a 1-5 home run, but a 6-20 he flies to right. And not quite enough of it. Reggie Smith at the track pulls it in, but the Phillies take a 2-1 lead as Steve Carlton helped his own cause. Good thing we didn't bunt. As Steve Carlton found that single on his card. And now we go to the bottom of the second. Interesting enough, Frank, that anytime I play the 77 Phillies on whether it's a one-off or anything like that, Carlton especially seems to underperform, and I don't know why. But so I'm hoping that at least, even if they lose this game, I'm hoping at least he pitches a decent game. All right, here's Dusty Baker. 6'8", pops him up to short. Boa constricts that foul ball or pop up and makes the catch. Here's Glenn Burke. 4-6, and that's a ground ball to short. Boa again constricts that grounder, throws it to first, 2 down. Brings up Steve Yeager. 6-6. That is a potential double, 1-8. Anything else will be a single, and it will allow Tommy John to hit this inning. So that is a single for Yeager, and that's an important job of a number 8 hitter. That will allow the pitcher to clear this inning, and they can lead off with Lopes next inning. That's assuming Tommy John doesn't get a hit, which is not totally out of the question. 3-6. 3-6 is a ground ball to Boa again, and that's going to end the inning. But like I said, it does flip the lineup over, so Lopes will lead off the bottom of the third. But we go to the third, top of the third. It's still 2-1 Phils. And Tommy John back out. We'll be facing Mike Schmidt. Schmidt walked his first chance. 6-2, split chance, 1-15 is a single. Anything else, he will line it to Bill Russell. And that's a single for Mike Schmidt. So he's gotten on base twice. He will be held, but he won't try anything. Nothing on the 20. Here's Luzinski. Dodgers looking to turn 2, 1-8, but he won't. That's a single by Luzinski with 2 stars. And that'll put runners at the corners. So here come the Phillies, and Luzinski will obviously not be held. Luzinski obviously not going to be held. Nothing on the 20. And the Dodgers are looking to turn the double play and try to minimize the damage. So they're double play depth. 5-8. 5-8 is a ground ball to third base B, and that will be only a fielder's choice. The run will score. If they had played the infield in, they could have cut that run off, but you're trying for the double play to minimize a big inning. But anyway, the Phillies now will take a 3-1 lead. Johnson's at first. He will not be held. With 1 out, they can still get out of this with the double play ball. Here's Jerry Martin. 3-7 for Martin. That's a fly to center. 2 down. And that brings up McCarver. Nothing on the 20. 4-11 on Tommy John. That's a ballpark single check again, but it's only a 1. Although we did get a 1 earlier, but not this time. So it's a liner to second. Inning's over, but the Phillies do add a run. Makes it 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. We're sort of sucking down some linguine. A little bit worried now, down 3-1 after having a 1-0 lead. All right, here's Davey Lopes, top of the order. 2-5, trying to make something happen, but he strikes out. That won't get it. Hi, RJL, how are you? Welcome back, Mr. Mike. Bill Russell. 2-12, that's a ground ball to Boa, and he constricts that one for an easy play. 2 down for Reggie Smith. 4-3, switch hitter batting right. 4-3 is a ground ball first base X. That is Davey Johnson. He's a 4E5. Remember, he's in there for offense, not for defense. 4 and a 5 is probably going to get through. Let's take a look at the charts. So I get my chart in front of me here. 4 and a 5 is a single. Now we'll check for an error. Make sure there's no error. He is an E5. But that's a 16, so that could be problematic as well. 5 and a 6. No, there's a 14, 17, and 18, but no 16. But it will get through for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Reggie Smith as he snuck it past the stoic Davey Johnson at first base. So Reggie Smith, not much of a base stealer. They will hold him on, but he's not going to try anything. They're going to see if the Penguin can get it done. 2-9, and he strikes out, so that's going to end the inning. So 3-1 our score after 3. And Tommy John trying to get himself back together. Does get to face the bottom of the order, which I guess is a little bit of a benefit, although Sizemore and Carlton both singled their first times up. 6-11, and that's a strikeout. So good start for Tommy John there with the strikeout. And here is Carlton. He found a 3-10 last time and got a single. This time he finds a 2-8, which is another single. So that pitcher hitting card number 8 is not too bad, obviously. Carlton is 2 for 2. Who'd have thunk that? Of course, he will not be held or try anything weird on the bases. And nothing there. Here's Bake McBride. 1-4, and that's a foul out to Yeager for out number 2, and that sends us to Larry Boa. Still surprised that Carlton got his hit. He's 2 for 2. That's definitely a shocker. Off his own card, no less. 4-6, struck him out. That's going to end the inning. So John puts up a 0, tries to give his team a chance to catch up. Down 3-1 here in the 4th. Schmidt will be facing the heart of the order. Garvey, well, not the heart of the order, but numbers 5, 6, and 7. Garvey, Baker, and Burke. Sounds like a bad law firm. 1-5. That's a single for Garvey. He leads things off with a single. He won't try anything. They will hold him on, though, because he would run if they don't hold him on. So they will hold him on. And here's Dusty Baker. 2-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. That's a plus sign there, but the person responsible for holding the right-handed batter, for holding the runner at second, would be the second baseman. So this ground ball shortstop A, the infield would have to be in for that to get through. Otherwise, it's a 6-4-3. Double play, just what Steve Carlton ordered. So 2 up, 2 down for Glenn Burke. And Lasorda just spit out some lasagna, I think, after that one. 3-7, and Burke gets a single. So they're going to try to start something else again. Now he's going to try to get a lead here. 2 through 7, he can get the lead. So with 2 outs, he's going to try to get himself into scoring position. And it's a 6, so he did get the jump. So that means he starts at a 17. The configuring of the pitcher and catcher hold is a +1, makes it an 18. He's being held, makes him a 16. So 1 to 16, he makes it. And he does. So it's a stolen base for Glenn Burke. He is at second base with 2 down for Steve Yeager. Now first base is open. They could walk Yeager and pitch to John. How they want to play it, we'll see. I think they're going to go ahead and walk Yeager and pitch to Tommy John. And Lasorda is not going to replace Tommy John in the 4th inning, so he will bat. But they don't want to take a chance because Yeager got a hit the first time, so they're going to... Hi, Gary. How are you doing? Happy Sunday to you. Nothing on the 20, so Tommy John trying to help his own cause. 2-7, he will not. He strikes out, so the intentional walk pays off. So the stolen base may be taking the bat out of Yeager's hands, but we're trying to get something started. Kind of outfoxed themselves, I think. All right, so we go to the 5th. Still 3-1 Phils, and Mr. Schmidt will lead things off against Tommy John. Oop, hit my phone there. Sorry about that, folks. Let me make sure I get it straight back into view here. Let's see here. 2-8. 2-8 for Schmidt. He will walk. A leadoff walk for Schmidt. He will be held, but he's not going to try to go anywhere. Again, the catcher-pitcher combination of hold is -4 for the Dodgers. So you better be careful when you try to run against them. All right, here's Luzinski. 3-4. 3-4 is ground ball shortstop A. That's a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. So quickly 2 away, and that brings up Davey Johnson, first baseman. 4-7 against Tommy John. That's a strikeout. So Tommy John got out of the 5th pretty quickly after that double play. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-1. And again, if you have not seen it, Game 1 of the ALCS has already been played. And I won't give away the score in case you haven't seen it and want to go back and watch it. But I do plan on playing out both the ALCS, NLCS, and the World Series to put a bow on the 77 season, and then also go over the stats for the 77 Sox, so you can see how the game engine fared against the actual stats for these players after a 162 game playthrough. All right, so here's Davey Lopes to lead things off. 1-7. He had a couple singles here, but that 7's a ground ball to Boa. And there's one away, and here's Bill Russell. I think I've worn out the boa constrictor pun enough on that one, so we'll leave that alone. 6-6 is a potential double, 1-8, single 1-9 or 9-20, and that's a double. So it's a double for Bill Russell, 1 out double, and now the tying run is at the plate in Reggie Smith. Bill Russell will be held. He's a good runner, so they will hold him on. Nothing on the 20. 2-5. 2-5 for Reggie. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single with 2 stars, so the runner will score either way. And it is a 1. How about that? It's a triple for Reggie Smith. So a double followed by a triple. And all of a sudden it's a 3-2 game with the tying run at third base and less than 2 outs. So the Phillies will bring the infield in with 1 out to try to choke that run off and not allow the tying run to sneak in. Frank, yes, the NLCS is exact lineups because these were the NLCS teams. The ALCS, I had to do my own lineups because obviously they did not meet in the ALCS. It was Kansas City, New York, and I'm doing Texas, Baltimore because that's the way the Strat computer worked it out. So I have no reference, so I just kind of had to go on my own and make it, the way I thought it was best fit. All right, so Ron Say will be up. Infield is in, trying to choke that run off. Nothing on the 20. That is a 4-10, and that is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder in this case is Bake McBride. He's a 2E4. 2 and an 11, so we'll keep that 11 because that could be important whether it's a sac fly or not. 2-11, and that's a 5, so it's a rare play on top of everything else. It's going to be a rare play. So let's take a peek ski here and see what we have. 2-11. 2-11 is an F2. So we come over here to F2, and we're looking at the rare play because we did roll a 5. And anytime you roll a 5, it's a rare play. So rare play says the outfielder catches the fly ball for an out. If there's a runner on third base, he tags up and scores the run. The play is appealed by the defense, and the umpire rules that the runner left third base early. He is out on the appeal play. So how about that? They tried to tag up Reggie Smith, but he left early on the appeal play. So it will actually be a double play. Now, I'm not really sure how you score that because I don't know if he's out 5 unassisted. I don't know, Mike, do you know the official rules on that? If an appeal play at third, if the guy left early and is out at third base, is he considered out 5 unassisted, or is somehow McBride involved because he caught the fly ball? I'm thinking it's 5 unassisted. Like if they had to appeal you would appeal and throw the ball to the third. Usually what happens on an appeal play is the pitcher steps off the mound, they throw it to the third baseman. So I'm going to say he's out. Not that it really matters, but I'm going to say he's out 1-5. I'm going to say that Carlton stepped off the rubber, threw to Schmidt, and they appealed, and the umpire said yes, he left early. So like I said, I don't have the official rules in front of me, obviously, so I'm just going to play it that way. Dodgers do get a run, but certainly that rare play cost them the tying run, and that's one of the things about playing super advanced. You get those kind of plays you don't get in advanced or. Hey Al, how are you doing? Maybe you can answer the question, Al. I don't know. Yeah, Lasorda just spit out his linguine, I think, after that one. Maybe you can answer that ruling question for us, Al. I don't know. I'm at a loss because I don't have the official rule book in front of me, so I don't know what's going on. But when there's a fly ball to center with a runner at third and less than 2 outs, the runner on third tags up and scores, but they appeal, say he left early, and the umpire calls him out. So I'm thinking it's a 1-5 put out at third base, because normally on appeal, the pitcher steps off the rubber and throws to third to make the appeal play complete. So that's the way I scored it on that rare play that Ron Say just hit into on that fly F2 rare play. It was an appeal play, and they say Reggie Smith left early. So I'm calling it a 1-5. Like I said, maybe I'm making too much out of it. That really doesn't matter. I'm not keeping defensive stats. The bottom line is he's out, and that's just the way we go. And unfortunately for the Dodgers, that cost them the tying run. So we go to the 6th, 3-2 Phillies, and here's Jerry Martin leading off against Tommy John. That's a 2-6 for Jerry Martin, and he strikes out. So Tommy John. After a rough start, Tommy John has actually pitched a little bit better. Here's Tim McCarver. 4-8. Well, as soon as I say that, Tim McCarver is going to get him for a hit. 1-4 is a double. 9-20. I'm sorry, 5-20 is a single, and that's a 9. So it's a base hit for Tim McCarver. So he will reach. He's not much of a threat to steal, so he won't even be held. 14, nothing there. So let's go to Ted Sizemore. 2-7 for Sizemore. That's a single, 2 stars. So as soon as I mentioned that Tommy John has settled down, all of a sudden he gives up 2 hits, and now we got runners at the corners with only 1 out, and Steve Carlton the batter. Now Steve Carlton, off pitcher hitting card number 8, he is 2 for 2. He has found 2 singles on his card. So why in the world would I try to bunt now? I might as well swing away, see if he can get that 3rd hit and help his cause again. All right, let's see. The official score shall credit a fielder with a putout if such fielder catches a thrown ball and tags a base to record an out on an appeal. Okay, so Schmidt would have been the one touching the base. So I guess that's, like I said, it's not official. I'm not keeping defensive stats, so it's really not that big of importance. It's more of a curiosity than anything else. All right, so here is Carlton in a big spot. 2-8 for Carlton. He found the single again. He's 3 for 3. Do you believe that? Steve Carlton is 3 for 3 off of the pitcher hitting card number 8. He is 3 for 3, and the Phillies now grab a 4-2 lead. Sizemore will stop at second base as the ball went to center field, and he's not going to try to go to third on that with only 1 out. Doesn't run all that well. All right, so here is Bake McBride. And now the bullpen for the Dodgers is loosening. Elias Sosa is warming up in the bullpen, the right-hander. Nothing on the 20. Bake McBride, 3-8. And that's a 1-17 single. 18-20, he grounds out. That's a 16th, a single, 1 star, so the bases are now loaded. Bases are loaded. And Tommy John is in deep doo-doo. So now, with the right-handers coming up, well, Boa's a switch hitter. So what do you guys think? Do we go to Elias Sosa, or do we let Tommy John try to pitch his way out of this mess? Boa is a switch hitter. So I'm going to let you guys be the manager. First person that chimes in, I think, or if I get a majority, I'll play it that way. I'm thinking about bringing in Elias Sosa, but I'm also thinking Tommy John might induce a double play. So. And also, do you play double play depth, or do you play the infield in? That's another thought, because if you get a ground ball B, it's going to be a fielder's choice, and you won't, you'll give up the run cheaply. So I think I'm going to play the infield in. Now, what do I do with Boa? What do I do with Tommy? You know what? Tommy John is their ace, so we're going to let Tommy John try to work his way out of it. All right, Tommy John. Nothing on the 20. Infield is in, bases loaded, 1 out. 6-7, 6-7, a 1-19 is a single. It may be a moot point anyway. And if we get a 20, it's a ground ball third base B. Well, they will get the lead runner at home on a 20. But if this is a 1-19, it's a single. And it is, and that's going to be it for Tommy John. So scoring is Sizemore. Bases are still loaded. with only one out and Mike Schmidt coming up. So the move will be made to the bullpen as Elias Sosa will be coming on from the Dodger bullpen to face Mike Schmidt and Greg Luzinski, a couple of tough right-handers. So Elias Sosa. Lasorda hoping that Sosa is the answer. Bases are loaded again with one out. Now Schmidt, let's see here. Does he have a lot of ground ball double? He's got some pluses on his ground ball card though. So if we get a 1-4 or a 3-7, that's going to sneak through for a double play. So I think this time we're going to play the infield back. He's got another ground ball plus here. So I think we're going to play the infield back. Infield's going to play back for the double play. Hoping Elias Sosa can get him to bounce into one. 4-8. Righty on righty, 4-8. It's a ground ball, second base X. And by playing the infield back, if you'd played him in, you'd have had to lose one of the off his range. But in this case, you don't have to do that. So ground ball, second base X. Lopes is a 3. So if we can get a good number on his D20, we can turn the double play. And he didn't. He got a 3. That's probably going to get through for a base hit. That was a 3, not an 11. All right, so a 3 and a 3 for a first base, or for a second baseman rather. 3 and a 3 is an SI1, so it's going to get sneak through for a single again. We'll check for an error. He is an E19. E19 and a 12. Should be okay. Yep, no error. Yes, Gary, yes, that they definitely have. And actually, we've got Gary Maddox that we can use, or we also have Jay Johnstone we could bring in to play left field. If they get a lead, you definitely want to take Luzinski out of there for sure. He's definitely a liability. So Schmidt sneaks it through, gets it past Lopes. That'll score Carlton. That run, of course, is charged to Tommy John. So his ERA in this game is going up and up and up. Base is still loaded, one out for Luzinski. Now they're hoping he can hit into a double play somehow. Sosa trying to get out of this mess. 3-3, and he does. Ground ball, shortstop A. Had the infield been in, that would have been a 2-run single. But by playing at double play depth, they turn the double play. 6-4-3. And gets them out of the inning. So it's 1, 2, 3 runs come in. So it's still doable. It's 6-2, but with the way the Dodgers can hit, and my number 3 there is awful. Kind of messed that up. But the way the Dodgers can hit, if they can get to Carlton and get to the bullpen, they might be able to do something. But Dodgers certainly had 4 guys with 30 home runs this season, so they're definitely no slouch at the plate. But they got their work cut out for them, no question about it. All right, so we go to the bottom of 6, 6-2. Here's Garvey, 5-5 against Carlton, and that's look at this, 1-10's a home run, 11-20's a double. So back come the Dodgers already. That is a 13. It's a leadoff double for Steve Garvey. Trying to, Lasorda's almost passed out in the dugout, so the Dodgers are trying to get him resuscitated. Here's Baker. 3-10 for Baker. It's ground ball, third base B, so the runner will have to hold at second base. 1 away for Glenn Burke, center fielder. Nothing on the 20. 5-8. 5-8 against Carlton. It's a fly ball to center. 2 down. Now it's up to Yeager. Now you're not going to intentionally walk Yeager because they'll just pinch it for Sosa. So they're going to pitch to Yeager this time. 1-10, and he flies to left. That's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Dodgers. It remains 6-2 as we go to the 7th, and Sosa will stay in and pitch the 7th inning because he's set to lead off next inning. So Sosa will stay in there. And now we're going to get some defensive replacements for the Phillies, as well as some lefty batters, which are helpful as well. So Richie Hebner is going to pinch hit for Davey Johnson. Johnson's a 4 E5. Hebner's a 3 E16, plus he's a lefty. But we like that range of 3 a whole lot. So Hebner, now that the lefty Tommy John is out of there, Hebner will be on. He will pinch hit. Probably leave Jerry Martin in right field because of his defense, even though he's a righty. All right, so here's Richie Hebner to lead off here against Sosa. 3-6, and that's a leadoff walk. So there's been a lot of leadoff walks in this game. He's a D stealer. He will not be held. Not no threat to run, really. Here's Jerry Martin. Nothing on the 20. Sosa. 6-8 for Sosa. Pops him up to the shortstop, Russell. And there's one away for Tim McCarver. McCarver's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, but Steve Carlton's the man of the hour. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Not to mention, so far, the winning pitcher. 2-7 for McCarver. 1's a double. Anything else will be a single with 2 stars. It's a 1, so it's actually a double 2 stars. That will move the runner to third. So runners are at second and third for Ted Sizemore. Now they could walk Sizemore, but then Carlton's 3 for 3. So you know they're just going to play the infield in and hope for the best. Nothing on the 20. 6-6. Ground ball third base B. So since the infield was in, I think they're going to get the runner at the plate, but I'll verify it. And what I go by is this ground ball super advanced chart. And it was a runner at second and third situation, which is right here, and a ground ball B, which is a number 7. Number 7 says batter safe, lead runner out. So they get the runner. Hebner is out 5-3. I'm sorry, 5-2 as Say throws to Yeager. McCarver will go to third on the play. And Sizemore reaches on the fielder's choice. But now there's 2 outs. But Carlton is up, and he's 3 for 3 with 3 singles. So that pitcher hitting card number 8 has been something else for him. Sizemore will not be held at first. 1-11. This time they get him ground ball to first, and since he was not being held, that plus is going to be okay, and the infield wasn't in either. So it's going to be a ground out to Garvey to end the inning, and they avoid any runs by playing the infield in. That cut that run off. And it keeps the score 6-2 and keeps the Dodgers in the game. All right, now we have a pinch hitter for Elias Sosa. He is scheduled to lead off, but of course we will need a pinch hitter for the Dodgers. And let's see who they've got on their bench that's right-handed. They have the venerable Manny Mota. So Manny Mota will lead off as a pinch hitter extraordinaire. And if he reaches, we will not make him run. We will put in a pinch runner. Probably Lee Lacy. But first things first, he's got to reach. So Manny Mota will lead off the bottom of the 7th. Here, we'll move this over a little bit so you can see more of the score sheet, hopefully, while still seeing the dice tray. All right, so here we go, Manny Mota. And that is a 6-5, and it's ground ball shortstop X. That's Boa. Boa is a 1, E14, so we don't need to roll the D20 because you know he's going to get to it. It's an E14. E14 and a 13. E14 and a 13 is a good play. 15 and 17 are bad, but 13 is good. So Manny Mota is retired as he tried to get something going with a pinch hitting. Here's Davey Lopes. 6-10, and that's a ground ball third base X. Schmidt. Schmidt is also a 1, so we don't need the D20. He is an E21, and that is a 13. E21 and a 13. And it's 11, 6, 15, and 18 are bad, but not a 13. So Schmidt makes the play as the Phillies try to steal one here in the opener. I think the Phillies may have won this game in real life. I didn't really check, to be honest with you. I think they split it in Dodger Stadium either way. I don't remember if it was first game or second game. But with 2 outs, here's Bill Russell. 2-7. 1-5 is a single. Anything else, he lines it to the second baseman, Mr. Sizemore. So let's see, where was I? No, I lost my place. Oh, it was up here, 2-7. All right, so 10, that's not going to get it done. You need a 1-5. So instead it's a liner to Sizemore. And that ends the inning. So 7 innings in the books, and now we need a new pitcher for the Dodgers. Somebody to come in and finish out the last 2 innings. And they're going to bring in with McBride, Boa, and let's see. Do they want a lefty or do they want a righty? Or does it matter? They're going to bring in, it's not Christmas time yet, but they're going to get a Garmin. So Mike Garmin is on. And he will be facing the top of the order, McBride, Boa, and Schmidt. 3-11. Oops, got him backwards. Not bad. At least for me, they're backwards. Anyway, the pitcher should be on top. So 311 is, that's a ballpark home run chance for Bake McBride. Would have been the same thing against a lefty as well. Ballpark home runs are 1 to 10. So 1 to 10, and McBride's going to greet Garmin with a dinger. Anything else is a fly to right. And it's an 8. It's gone. Bake McBride greets Mike Garmin with a home run. And he would have greeted a lefty with a home run as well, so it really wouldn't have mattered. Or did I roll 611? Now I'm confused because when I move the dice over, it looks like this. I thought I rolled 311, but did I roll 611? Does anybody remember? Did I roll a 611? I don't want to misread the dice here, but now I can't go back, obviously, to see. I could have sworn it was a 311, but now when I move it, maybe when I move the dice, maybe it changes to a 6. I'm gonna, if I read 311, I'm gonna call it 311 one way or the other because I have no proof to say that it wasn't. Of course, if you go back and watch this later, you can see that I messed it up, but we'll just have to play it as it lies, to use a golf term. I think it was 311. I don't know why I would have read 611 or 311 if it was a 611, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so here we go, Larry Boa. And the way the Phillies are playing, it may not matter. 5-6. Boa's a switch hitter batting left. 5-6. 1 to 4 is a home run. He does have weak power, so it will not be a homer. It would be a single. 5 to 20, he flies to right. And he flies to right, so it's irrelevant. 1 away. That brings up Mike Schmidt. Phillies now lead it 7-2 here in the 8th. 2-8. 2-8 for Schmidt, and that's a walk. So Schmidt draws a 1-out walk. He will be held. Here's Luzinski. Nothing on the 20. 6-6, and that's a 1 to 12 for a single. Anything else he grounds to first for a fielder's choice. And it's a single for Luzinski. So he will reach. And now we will get a pinch runner for Luzinski, and it will be Jay Johnstone, and Johnstone will stay in the game to play left field as well. So Johnstone is on as a pinch runner, and he will stay in the game to play left field, which he is a 3 E4. Much better than, and a -1 arm on top of it. Much better than Luzinski. So Johnstone is on as the pinch runner, and Luzinski will watch the rest of the game from the bench. Here's Richie Hebner. Nothing on the 20. 311 confirmed. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. I must just bump the die when I moved it off to the side. 5-12 for Hebner against Garmin. Ground ball pitcher X, he is a 2E24. Infield could try to turn 2 if Garmin gets a positive roll on this, and 2-7 may not be positive. Let's see. 2 and a 7 for a pitcher. 2 and a 7 is a G3, so the runners are going to advance. You have to make sure there's no error. He's an E24, and that is a 10, so it should be okay on that, I would think. No, I take it back. E24 for a pitcher, and a 10 is right there as a 1-base error. So instead of a runner advance, it's an E1, and it's going to load the bases, and the Dodgers, their fans leave early anyway. They're probably already left, most of them, and Lasorda, I think, has probably gone back into the clubhouse, not wanting to see anymore. Bases are loaded, 1 out, infield is in. They got to cut that run off. Nothing on the 20. Here's Martin. 1-8 and struck him out, so that helps there. 2 down. Infield back to normal for Tim McCarver, but the bases are loaded. 1, that's a chance for a wild pitch, but he has no wild pitch rating, so we don't have to worry about that. Carver, 3-3. He will walk, and that will force a run in. So McCarver reaching base for the 4th time this time via a walk, and it does force the run in as Schmidt will score. Johnstone goes to 3rd, and Hebner goes to 2nd. So that error is going to put across an unearned run. 2 runs in the inning. It is now 8-2. And here's Ted Sizemore. Nothing on the 20. 5-8. Sizemore, 5-8. Ground ball to 3rd. That's going to, let's see, were there 2 outs or 1 out? There were 2 outs because of the strikeout, so it's a 5-3 to end the inning. But 2 runs come across. It is now 8-2, and the Phillies seem to have this one well in control. And let's see, Carlton. This will be his fatigue inning, so we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, they certainly can use the bullpen if they need be. With an 8-2 lead, they can bring their schlubs in. They don't have to use their best guys. All right, so here is Reggie Smith, 1-7, fly to center, 1 away. That brings up the Penguin, Ron Say. 5-7, 5-7, struck him out. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. So there's 2 down for Steve Garvey. 4-9, 1-3 is a single. Anything else, he grounds to Schmidt. And he grounds to Schmidt, 1-2-3 inning. So Carlton easily ahead of this one, 8-2. Now, Carlton's going to lead off this inning. He's scheduled to lead off, so they're going to see if he can go 4 for 4, if at all possible. Garman will be relieved as he goes out of there, and they will bring on lefty Lance Ronson. Because of the score being so bad, they want to use your schlubs. No sense wasting Charlie Huff or anybody else that might be decent for them. So you're going to bring in lefty Lance Ronson, and I think he pitched a third of an inning in the actual NLCS. So, and that probably was when the game was well out of hand. So Carlton now is going to go and try to get 4 for 4. I'm sorry, he's 3 for 4. He's trying to go 4 for 5. 4, and Carlton's a lefty hitter. 4-4. 4-4 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Russell. He's a 2 E32. 2-13, he'll get to that, but the E32 is the problem. E32 and an 11 as a shortstop. E32 and an 11. Nope, no 11, so it's good play. And Carlton does not get his 4th hit that he was looking for. All right, here's Bake McBride. And actually, McBride, let's see, are they going to pinch hit for McBride? They will. They're going to pinch hit with Gary Maddox, because Maddox is a 1 defender, plus he's right-handed. So Gary Maddox is going to pinch hit and stay in the game to play center field as a 1-rated center fielder with an E11 and a -2 arm. So Gary Maddox gets a chance to bat. 3-6 against the lefty, and he grounds to short. So 2 ground balls to Russell. 2 quick outs for Larry Bowa, the shortstop. 2-11, and that's a ballpark single, but again, it's only a 1. Nothing happening there, so the liner to the shortstop. So 1-2-3 inning for Ronson. He actually did pretty well. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 8-2. And Dusty Baker will be the leadoff hitter for the Dodgers. It'll be Baker, Burke, and Yeager as Carlton tries to get the complete game. Of course, they do have Warren Brister in the bullpen just in case. With an 8-2 lead, you're not going to use McGraw or Ron Reed or Gene Garber. You're going to use your lesser guys. So here's Dusty Baker. 1-9 for Baker. It's a fly to right, and that's 1 away. Carlton 2 outs away from complete game victory and the MVP, obviously, of the game. Here's Glenn Burke. 6-7 for Burke against Carlton. Ground ball second base X. Sizemore's a 3, E12. 3 and a 1, it's going to be a base hit. E12. And that is a 12. E12 and a 12. E12 and a 12 is not a problem, but it is a base hit for Burke. So he will reach, and that brings up Yeager, and then we'll need a pinch hitter, probably Lee Lacy. Oh, forgot to roll the 20. My bad. Forgot to roll the 20. Let's roll that. All right, 2-2 for Yeager against the lefty. That's a ballpark home run chance right there. Ballpark home run, 1-10. And Yeager goes deep. Makes it an 8-4 game. So all of a sudden now, Carlton may need relief here. As I believe, let's see, he's 1 away from being fatigued. But we need a pinch hitter for the Dodgers. And it will be, Let's see who they're going to go to here. Looks like it's going to be Lee Lacey. Lee Lacey is on. Lee Lacey facing Carlton. 10, nothing on the D20. And let's see what happens here. 4-11. 4-11 on Carlton is a fly ball. Now again, they don't have Luzinski anymore. It's Johnstone. He's a 3E4. 3 and a 17, he'll get to that. E4 shouldn't be a problem. E4 and 11 should be okay. E4 and 11 is okay. So it's a fly to left. Put away by Johnstone. 2 down. Last chance is Davey Lopes. If anybody gets on, Brewstar is going to come on. Or Bruster, however you want to pronounce his name. Here's Davey Lopes. 2-11. Split chance. 1 to 13 is a single. 14 to 20 is a line out. It's a line out. That's going to end the ball game as Boa, I hate to say it, Boa constricts that liner to end the ball game and wrap it up for Carlton. 8-4. Game 1 belongs to the Phillies. It is a steal one here at Dodger Stadium. Don't remember. I think they won this first game in real life. I'm pretty sure they split in the real playoffs. They split the first 2 games at Dodger Stadium, and then the Dodgers won the next 2 in Philly to take it. But I don't remember the order of who won what. But Steve Carlton, despite giving up that 2-run homer, he probably was fatigued a little bit in the 9th. Probably should have brought in a reliever, but try to get him the complete game since he has several days to rest. 8-4, your final. Carlton, more amazingly, was 3 for 5. He got 3 hits off his pitcher hitting card. So game 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the game 2 starters are going to be Don Sutton for the Dodgers and Jim Lonborg for the Phillies. I think that's what the schedule calls for. In fact, I'm almost positive Lonborg is a starter in game 2. Not sure about Sutton, but it just makes sense that Sutton would be the number 2 starter. So, again, game 1 of the ALCS has already been done, but in case you haven't seen it, I won't give away the score. Now, this is game 1 of the NLCS, so the next video will be game 2 of the ALCS. To see how the Rangers and the Orioles are doing. It is going to be the second game at Memorial Stadium, and then they'll go back to Texas for the last 3 if they're necessary. All right, so and again, then they got 1 more game here at Dodger Stadium, and then 3 in Philly if they're necessary. So I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. It's time for me to get going and do some things I need to get done. But I had about an hour or so to get this in. So I decided to go ahead and get it done, and since it takes so long to upload, I decided to go ahead and do it live just so it would be uploaded right away, or at least, well, actually the live one takes a while to upload for everybody who's not watching it live. It takes a while to actually get on there, at least for me to see it, but I think if you guys, it may show up on your feed right away. I'm not 100% sure. I know for me to see it later and to update it or edit it or whatever, it takes a while for it to show up. But anyway, thank you for everybody who came along. Utah Mike, Sports Time Machine, Mr. Al, Red Sox fan, RJL518, Gary M, Frank Del Plato, or De Plato. Let's see, did I miss anybody? I think, and Larry Harris. So I think I got everybody that's here. Pretty sure, yep, I'm going up my list here and seeing that's who they are. So thank you all for, let's see, actual score 7-5. Was that Phillies winning or Dodgers winning, Mike? Was it 7-5 Phillies in real life? It was 8-4 here. I'm thinking Phillies won it 7-5 in game 1. And then probably against Lonborg. They probably came back and beat Lonborg in game 2. Just as a guess, but obviously I could be wrong, but because I don't have it in front of me. Al, everybody, Mike, Robert, Larry, Gary, Frank, everybody have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, as we're almost at high noon here in the East Coast. And for those who want to watch football, go right ahead. More power to you. I really kind of lost interest in football, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go into details. I just don't really have any interest. I watched a little bit of the college game yesterday, a couple of college games, but to me, I don't know. I'm into baseball, so I mean, football's okay, but I'm kind of more into the baseball mode. But for those that really enjoy the football, that's the great thing about choices, and you can make that choice to watch whatever you like. And you should be able to watch whatever you like without being harassed by anybody. So it's, that's part of being American, is a free choice. All right, so I'm not going to get into anything else on that. I'm going to stick to sports. So hope everybody's a great day, and I will see everybody in the next video, which would be Game 2 of the ALCS. I'm not sure when that's going to take place, probably Tuesday maybe, I don't know. We shall see. But it will be Game 2 of the ALCS. It'll be Mike Flanagan for the Orioles against Gaylord Perry for the Rangers. And again, I will refrain from giving the score, so in case anybody that's checking this out has not seen the first game, I won't ruin it for everybody, so you can go check that out for yourself. So have a great day, everybody. Enjoy. Hopefully you're having nice weather wherever you are. And stay safe out there. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.